The all-new 2025 Ram 1500 is here. More powerful, better looking, and better equipped. It brings a pretty comprehensive set of updates and improvements, but does that mean that all of the old problems are gone? Does the 2025 Ram 1500 solve the 7 worst issues of the previous year's model? Let's find out. Number 7. Lack of peak torque. The previous Ram 1500 was offered with a couple of naturally aspirated gas engines, including the more powerful 5.7-liter Hemi V8, good for about 395 horsepower and 410 pound-feet of torque. Although still quite refined and competent, it started to lose pace with key competitors, which doesn't surprise considering that this engine was in use for more than 2 decades. Back in 2003, this engine was revolutionary. Even today, it feels quite wonderful to drive, but as usual, time is the worst enemy, and this Hemi started showing signs of aging long ago. Today, it feels a little bit less capable than the competition, considering that most rivals went to forced induction a while ago. But that won't be the case anymore. The old Hemi finally went into a well-deserved retirement and got replaced with one of the most modern engines around, the new 3-liter inline-6, which comes in 2 variants, both significantly more capable than the old Hemi. The base version of this twin-turbo engine puts out 420 horsepower and 469 pound-feet of torque, which represents a 25 horsepower and, more importantly, a 59 pound-feet surplus over the Hemi, ensuring notably better driving dynamics. Then there's the high-output version of the new engine reserved for higher trims, good for about 540 horsepower and 521 pound-feet of torque, making the Ram 1500 the most powerful pickup on the market, at least when it comes to standard versions. All in all, it's clear that one of the biggest issues of the previous generation has been solved. Number 6. Payload and towing. The Ram 1500 has always been praised for its wonderful ride quality, superior to any other pickup truck on the market. Of course, the key reason behind it is that sophisticated 5-link independent rear suspension, which makes a significant difference compared to the F-150 and Silverado 1500, which still uses good old leaf springs. But such a smooth ride quality also means a couple of sacrifices. Leaf springs are more rigid, more durable, and generally better for hard work. So while the Ram 1500 offers unparalleled ride quality, rivals can tow and haul more, and judging by the numbers, it looks like things won't change much in this aspect. The new model features a max towing rating of 11,580 pounds, while the max payload goes around for 2,300 pounds. For comparison, both the F-150 and the Silverado 1500 can tow way over 13,000 pounds, which you have to admit isn't a small difference. Numbers aside, the new Ram 1500 actually brings some improvements. For example, there's a new push-button trailer steering knob that helps a lot when reversing the truck to or with a trailer. The new system is super easy and doesn't require any additional setup. Among the many features it comes with, we particularly like the ability to automatically center the trailer and hold it in a straight line while reversing. That's not all. Higher trim levels are also available with an integrated trailer brake controller, trailer tire pressure monitoring, trailer light check system, and trailer 360-degree view. So all in all, we may say that Ram has made another step forward and made towing even more convenient. Number 5. Electrical gremlins. The Ram 1500 has always been considered an advanced pickup with lots of standard and available equipment, whether it's about comfort, convenience, or high-tech features. The new model is no different, so we're now wondering if Ram was able to fix one of its main issues, electrical problems. Namely, all those extra features are great, but that comes at a cost, and the fact that the Ram 1500 comes from a company that has never been considered the most reliable automaker doesn't help either. The previous generation has a whole bunch of these so-called electrical gremlins. We're talking about electrical issues that usually can't cause any critical damage, but can annoy and therefore have a really bad impact on the overall driving experience. In the previous model, for example, seeing the reversing camera not working was a pretty common thing. Many owners reported that power side mirrors wouldn't close, while troubles with all other kinds of in-car electronics not working are pretty common too. The instrument cluster has always been Ram 1500's specialty, with all those warning lights appearing, and what's particularly intriguing is that many owners reported that dealers weren't able to solve many of these issues. As for the new generation, we'll soon find out if the same troubles are still there and whether or not Ram addressed these issues properly or not. For now, let's just hope for the best. Number 4. E-torque doesn't help much. In the previous generation, both V6 and V8 engines were offered with the so-called e-torque hybrid system. Ram's mild hybrid 48-volt unit includes a belt-driven motor that replaces a traditional alternator and comes with a small battery that in theory brings a couple of benefits, such as improved fuel efficiency and a bit of extra low-end torque and a smoother ride. Now, the ride is definitely a bit smoother, while better throttle response can be noticed too. However, the system didn't bring any notable improvements in terms of fuel economy, so most owners wonder if the system was worth the extra cost. Now, when the V8 is gone, the e-torque remains standard in the base V6 engine, which didn't bring any upgrade over the previous generation. The output is the same, just like the mild hybrid setup, so we don't expect any changes in this aspect. For reference, MPG ratings are around 20 mpg city and 25 mpg highway, which is a tiny bit better compared to the significantly more capable Toyota Tundra hybrid. Number 3. Infotainment system. Back in 2019, when the now previous generation was launched, Ram brought a revolution with its massive 12-inch vertically oriented screen. 5 years later, it's not much of a big deal, considering that large touchscreens have become a pretty common thing. More importantly, we haven't seen many updates since then, so the system started to feel a bit dated, especially when compared to the latest version of Ford's Sync unit. Thankfully, we can say that this issue is gone with the new generation, considering that the software has been updated significantly. Better processing power, high resolution, and more features, the new system is a big step forward compared to the previous one, and Ram once again has one of the most intuitive systems on the market. Also, there's a new 14.5-inch optional infotainment screen, which seems even more impressive than the base 12-inch unit. The only thing we don't like is that it takes even more space on the center stack, so even those few physical buttons are now gone in case you opt for this bigger screen. Also worth mentioning is that this isn't the only major tech upgrade. For example, there's also a new 10-inch full-color heads-up display, not as impressive as GM's 15-inch unit, but still quite great. Also, the Ram 1500 becomes the first pickup on the market with the optional 10.3-inch screen for the passenger, which can be used for navigation, entertainment, camera view, and many more. Number 2. Build quality and reliability. Different researchers give different results, but the general opinion is that the Ram 1500 is no champion of reliability and build quality. No, it comes with various issues, and if we can trust forums, loyal Ram owners have noticed a bit of a fall in this aspect compared to some previous generations. This particularly refers to build quality, as many owners reported similar problems. For example, bad sealing and water leaks have been some of the most common complaints, while we have heard a lot about paint job flaws too, not to mention certain parts of the interior and similar things. We hope that the company will improve quality control with the new generation. As for reliability, Ram stands a bit better compared to typical products of the former Chrysler Corporation, but generally, it seems a bit less reliable than the competition. Coolant leaks, along with cam and filter failures, are some of the most common issues under the hood, while brake issues aren't rare either. We already talked about electrical issues, which seem to be the most common reason for visits to a dealer. Number 1. Pricing. The Ram 1500 has always been one of the most expensive models in its class. You can look at it as a flaw or not, but the fact is that the new model doesn't get any cheaper. Just like everything in today's world, it gets even more expensive, so instead of $41,415, which is the base price for the 2024 model, the new 2025 Ram 1500 starts at $42,270. Instead of $46,580, the Bighorn now starts at $46,930, while the Laramie is now nearly $5,400 more expensive than before and starts at a whopping $62,025. If you think that's a price jump, check this out. The new 2025 Ram 1500 Rebel is now priced at $66,190, $8,745 more than just a year ago. After the Rebel, we're stepping deep into the luxury category with models like Limited, Longhorn, and Tungsten priced at $77,150, $77,645, and $89,070. Justified or not, that's way too much for a pickup truck. Thanks for watching and see you next time.